Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah. This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. Thanks for watching YouTube TV, listening Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. Absolute wow, what is going on right now between France and Senegal. Senegal scored a minute ago to make it 2-1, so both teams' score got there, and the over cashes. Just now, Mbappe, a laser beam from like 40 feet out the way it looked. I could be off on that, but he hits another one, his second of the match, and now 3-1 in extra time.
13-1, 3-1 exact score. BTTS cashes again, plus 115.
What a goal. Holy smokes.
Bye-bye, under 2.5.
Get some best bets now at the U.S. Open, which begins on Thursday at Shinnecock. VSiN's very own Wes Reynolds joins the program now. You can get his great write-ups every single week at VSiN.com. Look at that goal. That goal is incredible.
Way out.
Did you have anything in this match, Wes?
Both teams to score, so that made me very happy as I was listening to commentary before I got on with you guys. And Landon Donovan is like, maybe they should just take the 2-0 and, kind of pack it in. I was like, BS. No, you go for it. You know you're big underdogs here, so got to get something on the board. But France goes ahead and responds with that Mbappe heater there.
Yeah. Okay, so you're also one of the co-hosts on podcast, very popular podcast here called Long Shots. At VSiN. We'll get into all your bets to win the U.S. Open this week. Let me start with this. If you could only make one bet to win this event this week, who would that golfer be?
It would probably be a guy that I didn't bet. It'd probably be Scotty, just because he fits all the narratives, right? He's 6-1, by the way, at some shops, which is more than double the price he was at Oakmont last year at 275. And, it's Father's Day. He just became a father for the second time a couple months ago. He turns the big 3-0. His 30th birthday is on Sunday, June 21st. So it all kind of sets up, right, to finally complete the career Grand Slam if you believe that the story finishes happen often. I would probably say Scotty, but the way I exposed myself to him, I played in terms of getting some action on Scotty is just playing like top 10. I think the lowest I've seen out there is minus 125, or you can play top 5, 150. I did not bet the 6-1 though, just because of the wind factor. I think the wind in this weather is going to bring a lot more players into it here. So it's not as cut and dry necessarily on the favorite.
Oh, how bad could this be then? Because I think the course is going to be the story. The last time we had it here, Koepka won 1 over. So if we have the wind up to 30 miles an hour, what's these scores? How bad could these scores be?
Well, what did Don Johnson say in Tin Cup? I'll take them all day, 18 of them, and that being pars. And I think even par is going to be a very good score here. And keep in mind at the U.S. Open at Shinnecock, and this is the 5th time they've now played it there since 1986. There were 4 U.S. Opens. Only 3 players finished under par for 72 holes. Ray Floyd when we won it in 86, and then Goosen and Phil Mickelson, who was second. So you've had 3 players in all these U.S. Opens, and I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a little bit similar to Oakmont last year, where you're going to get the carnage, and especially the weather from a wind perspective. If it's going to be as bad as it's forecasted, and it can obviously change, you're going to get carnage here. Even though these fairways are really wide and these greens are really big, it's going to be hard even for putts, even though they've slowed down the greens to 12 on the stent meter. It's going to be hard for these greens to hold putts.
What do your bets look like based on that, or maybe some matchups with how the wind is going to play out on Thursday? Because I believe it's going to be more impactful later on in the afternoon.
Yeah, I played a little bit more of an international flavor. And I do think if you're going first round leader, by the way, maybe go a little bit more on the morning flight, even though that's always tough to predict. But the early tee time, so obviously Scotty and Rory got put up there, and you want to look, I think, at the early Thursday. But in terms of outrights, I went with guys that have history in windy courses. And by the way, if you've seen this course, this is very much an American links style course, not maybe pure links like you see over in the UK, but it is very linksy. And so I had kind of a European flavor on the card this week. And I'm going with my gut here because I pinpointed him all year. I felt like this was the spot, or maybe Birkdale next month for the Open. Tommy Fleetwood. I think this might be the time, and this is as good a spot as any for him to get his first major. Remember, he was runner-up here to Koepka when he shot 63 on that back nine and finished 1 back. What's going to really determine the factor, I think, this week is in terms of winning is around the green and scrambling, more so than driving, because these fairways are big. You can either try to bomb it or you can be a little bit more conservative and rely on the irons. Keep in mind, 70% of the fairways were hit in 2018, but only 54% of the greens. So approach will matter a little bit more than driving, but I think around the green and scrambling, where Fleetwood is top 5 on the PGA Tour, a lot of positional driving, and I think that's pretty good for fairway Jesus.
Okay. Also around that same number, and I know Jeff Seeley was making the case for him last week for the U.S. Open. He's going to be on the show tomorrow. You like Matt Fitzpatrick this week as well?
I do, and I feel like he's going to play very well. I feel as good about him as I felt in 2022 when we hit him there at Brookline. 3-time winner already on tour this season, was runner-up last week at the RBC. Couldn't quite run down Bud Cauley, but 4th in approach, 4th in greens and regulation, 12th here, by the way, in 2018, a pedigreed player on these links type courses, former winner at the Dunhill Links, close calls at the Scottish Open at Renaissance, which I think is a kind of a similar course to what we see at Shinnecock. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Fitz. Fitz has been as consistent as anybody on the tour this year.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We're getting outright bets for the U.S. Open beginning on Thursday at Shinnecock with Wes Reynolds, and he is on the progressive guest line. I bet Russell Henley to win a major at every event last year. Did not get there. I thought last year was his year, and now he's 40-1 to win at Shinnecock. I have not been betting him so much this year, but you are. You like him. Why?
Yeah, he was a disappointment at the PGA after he was kind of lurking there at the Masters behind Rory and behind Cameron Young and Justin Rose. He actually had a share of the lead at one point. He was first round leader here back in 2018 when he kind of wasn't really a known commodity at majors, but now he is. If you look, the last 14, and this dates back to 2023, he's been in the top 10 6 times consecutives at the U.S. Open. Very good iron player, very good fairway finder, good drives gained, tee to green, the whole 9 yards. He's actually number 5 in the world. And you're seeing him at some shops still priced at 40-1. I think it's because of that lack of major championship. It's like, well, is he really good enough to win a major? But I think in a grinder, that's where Russell Henley succeeds, because it's not totally about distance here. And he's been competitive in a lot of these majors, and it's just kind of getting over the finish line. So I actually thought that was a pretty good number if you can get him kind of close to 40-1.
How about 2 guys 45-1 that you grabbed with Burns? Let's start with Burns.
Yeah, Burns' consecutive top 10 finishes at the U.S. Open, was the 54-hole leader, if you remember last year at Oakmont, and then he finished T7 because everybody kind of went sideways except for J.J. Spawn there last year. First-round leader last week at the Canadian Open, was also 4th at the Memorial 2 weeks ago. Always a good putter. Like, they call him Bermuda Burns, but he's also Bentgrass Burns and maybe Poanwa Burns because he is one of the top guys in putting, and he can bomb it off the tee. But what I think he's going to do is maybe how Brooks Koepka attacked this years ago. And Brooks was only like 64%, I think, in accuracy, but relying on the irons, relying a little bit more on the positional driving. And that's what I think you have to do. I think it's more positional driving than it is distance or really accuracy. I think you can win off the tee in a lot of ways. You just got to get yourself in position to be in position. And then you mentioned Tyrrell Hatton, another one I played at 45-1. 6 last time here at Shinnecock, 2018. He's another guy kind of like Henley that's inching closer and closer in major championships. T3 at the Masters earlier this year, T4 at Oakmont for the U.S. Open. Comes in with the win, by the way, at Valderrama, the famous course in Spain, at Live Golf Andalusia, where he held off his buddy, John Rahm, on his home turf. He also became a new father a couple months ago, so he's got the quote-unquote nappy factor, so that could apply to Tyrrell Hatton. 3-time winner, by the way, on the Dunhill Links. So I think he's going to like this course. Everybody makes his temperament, but I think that works for him a little bit. You know, it is just kind of having that little bit of an edge, and he's shown patience. Like, he hasn't gone off the deep end and imploded like we've seen in years past in some of these big tournaments. You know, he's kind of stayed with it, recover from a mistake, and then go onward.
So that's your one live golfer you're going to attack. But it feels like books are begging people to bet on DeChambeau. I mean, I saw him drift out to 35-1, so I don't think they're getting any handle on that guy to win. And I can't really blame bettors for not really wanting a piece of him this week. One more guy, and I'm on this golfer as well, but he hasn't played a lot of golf lately. State your case for Patrick Reed around 55-1.
Yeah, Patrick Reed, 55-1 at Circa Sports. Not a lot of golf lately. Actually, his last two events were both majors, T12 at the Masters, T10 at the PGA. So he's been rested. He's already got his card locked up, by the way, on the PGA Tour next year because he's won twice on the DP World Tour early in the year. I think that this rest might be a little bit good for him. Keep in mind, he's top 12 in the field on approach, around the green, and putting. So that's the recipe to win here, I think. Best finish he ever had in the U.S. Open was 4th here in 2018. And a little bit under the radar this week for Reed, but I think he's starting to get a lot of people liking him, including you and I, Mitch.
Yep. You can follow Wes on X. He is at Wes Reynolds 1. Does a great job with Kelly and Matt every single week. It's a very popular podcast here at VSiN called Long Shots. Wes, thank you. Go get him this week. We appreciate the time.
You bet, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Join us on the Progressive Guest Line. Here's a question for the audience. So not only will Friday be day 2 of the U.S. Open, Friday at 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific is when USA will take on Australia in the World Cup. It's also Father's Day weekend. Mm-hmm. Are you taking off this Friday? We're already getting a bunch of feedback right now on X saying it's basically a holiday on Friday. So yeah, I'm taking it off, and the ratings for the USA match is going to be absolutely astronomical.
Yeah. Good move.
Because I'm off. I'm taking Thursday and Friday off. Mm-hmm. Are you? And is that like, what's the main reason why you're taking off Friday if you are? Is it because it's Father's Day weekend? Or is it because it's a common, maybe not the US Open, but also because you have to be out somewhere watching the USA play soccer? And we are going to expand on that coming up next with 3 more games coming up. You're going to hear how hydration breaks are impacting these matches, and the popularity of the World Cup is astronomical. Johnny Avello from DraftKings will explain.
Let me get your attention real quick, podcast listeners. I've got something for you that almost feels too good to be true. First, credit where credit's due. If you're listening to this podcast, you're already leveling up your betting game. You're riding along with our best bets and top angles, and when there's a good game on, you're getting involved with a few props and alt markets as well. There's one more layer if you really want to step things up, and that's VSiN Pro. I've mentioned it before, but things are only getting better for our pro subscribers. We just rolled out our MLB prop projections, breaking down some of the best edges across strikeouts, hits, home runs, and more. And that's on top of everything else pro subscribers already get, including public betting splits, expert picks, and betting guides across the sports calendar. If you haven't tried it yet, stop sleeping on it. You can get your first month just $9.99 or save big with promo code POD26 on the annual subscription. Hit the link in the description and start cashing in with VSiN Pro. All right, back to the show.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
You can always tweet the show. We're live on the air at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. DPAC48 says Friday is a holiday for a lot of us. The USA game is going to have a ton of high ratings. And to piggyback that, Rob points out, Friday is Juneteenth. So banks, schools, etc. in New Jersey are already closed. It's beautiful timing. Yeah, and it's Father's Day weekend. It's setting up perfectly here. That game's at 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific. Betting handle is going to be off the charts. Ratings are going to be huge.
How am I going to do a show Friday? Oh, it's going to be crazy.
Oh, it's Paul. It's silver platter. You can do
play-by-play.
So let's think about this for a second here.
It'll be fun too, doing it with Yastrzemski coming off the parade in Manhattan Thursday too.
Sure,
Knicks Mania.
So you guys are going to be on at 1 o'clock when it's at halftime,
and golf. Golf going on too.
The first hour should just be nothing but play-by-play and live betting on USA Soccer. Now it's like the middle of June. NBA, NHL done.
How about a Giannis trade to start the day? How fun would that be?
You want that Friday?
Giannis dealt, USA, Australia, and then US Open around two going at it all at the same time.
How about this report? Funny you brought that up. This came down a couple of minutes ago. The Bucks are looking to offload Kyle Kuzma and Bobby Portis in a potential Giannis trade.
Yeah.
Get rid of all of them.
Oh, you want the contract? You want the contract so bad.
On Kyle Kuzma?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. I can only guess what it is. There's nothing quite like having fun and being entertained by looking at random players and how much money they make in the NBA.
Oh, no. It's worse than I thought. 4 for $90.
It's actually not that bad.
No, come on. He makes 21 million next year. Oh, he's okay. He's got a $3 million bonus if he's traded. You put that. It's like these buyouts with the coaches in college football.
I know.
On top of how insane the contracts are, and he's got a trade kicker in there.
Got to be honest. I thought it was going to be way worse. I thought it was going to be minimum of $100 million.
Man, that's
and for probably for fewer than 4 years.
Can I play this for you? This was excellent. This was you mentioned several times on this show. You don't know how this guy's alive, Charlie Sheen, but all the talk about what was going on in steroids in Major League Baseball and who did what, and well, the pitchers were doing it too, so it cancels out what the hitters were doing and that. But he said when he was at this height of his drug use, the cartel cut him off. The amount they were selling to my drug dealer, and they're requesting what I was requesting at the frequency that I was asking for, they had never transferred that to someone who wasn't dealing. They thought I was dealing. I was blowing through the stuff so fast, and you have to get permission from the shot callers if you're going to do that. That's how much he was doing drugs, in addition to smoking 2 packs a day. And then I wasn't heavy in the drug use. He was also did steroids. This is how he prepared and added miles per hour to his fastball with Ricky Vaughn in Major League.
It was David Ward directed it, wrote it. He won the Oscar for The Sting when he was like 22. Really smart, really funny, really good dude, huge baseball fan. Yeah, I had one meeting with him, and he was like, "Well, you pitched in high school." I'm like, "Yeah," and that was only 4 years ago, right? 5 years.
Still in you,
right? Yeah, and I said, "Well, you can film me. You can film me in a full windup. That I guarantee. But I can't throw 98 or 100, or I'd be doing it for a living. But I can probably get you somewhere in the mid 80s.
That's still good. God.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So I did a bunch of steroids, right? And because I was only throwing like 76 at the time. And I had this trainer. This guy was a running back at BYU, and he knew a guy that could get the steroids. And so we're at Gold's Gym and
pumping on.
Yeah, man, and literally put 10 miles per hour on my freaking fastball. Yeah.
And how long? How much time?
Like 6 weeks.
Holy. Wow.
I mean, I was a little nutty during the thing,
Yeah. But it was in character, though.
The juice.
Yeah, but I didn't continue juicing throughout the movie.
Okay.
That's incredible. Oh, my God.
He's still alive.
Yes, that too. He's done everything. It was with Barnes and Steven Jackson. Excellent.
Up in Smoke podcast.
Yeah, and 10 miles to the fastball, 10 miles per hour. What hasn't he done? The drug use is so extreme. The cartel said that's it.
Well, he told those stories before. He would be up. He'd be up for 3 days in a row.
Oh,
he couldn't stop. Keep going the entire time.
How good was that movie? What a character.
That's almost 40 years, by the way. 40 years ago.
Euchre, Burnson, great cast. Behringer, Wesley Snipes.
Now that's a great baseball movie.
Yep.
Not like some of the other crap that we've had made and shoved down our throats over the years. That one's really good.
That's how I prepare for a role too. Mickey Rourke did it for The Wrestler, but this guy goes, okay, I got to add some miles per hour to my fastball. Let's go. Call up a guy.
Funny how everybody had such a big problem in professional sports with the steroids, but never a problem when entertainers do it.
No, it's allowed. Absolutely.
Of course it is.
Sure.
Allowed and acceptable. Get more jacked for us.
Yeah, right.
What are you on tonight overall for the World Cup? I told you I have Jordan plus 1.5 goals against Austria. And I have the under 2.5 on the Argentina match as well. Hoping to get out of there like 2-0.
Yeah.
Obviously tops in that one.
Argentina to nil's not bad. I'm going to back with Alex's breakdown, VSiN.com, Austria to win to 0. He had a good case there. And then the meat man will talk about Norway here too, or maybe we see some goals with Norway if they're going to bury Iraq.
Well, do you want to, some way, somehow, like Holland to score a goal and for Norway to win? Because he's minus 80 cents to score a goal in the match.
That's nuts.
38 goals this season.
It's kind of like what Alex wrote up also at VSiN.com about the Czech Republic South Africa match. To try to, if he doesn't want to lay the $1.30, you can go Czech Republic to win along with their team total over 1.5. He did that for the early match coming up on Thursday. But I guess you could go Norway to win and Norway over 1.5 team total. If you could do that, if
I feel pretty good
about that. Yeah, no Howland. But
I feel pretty good about the team scoring at least 2 goals in this match.
Yeah, but it's just staggering what the damage he's done. 16 goals in qualification with how good they were. But that's still a big price.
Also, I hope that he's aware of what Mbappe just did.
Yeah.
Someone who's holding Haaland here 15-1 for the Golden Boot. Now, that's one hell of a way for Mbappe to start, to get 2 in the bag like that. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, this is going to be like the NL Cy Young race for the first 2 months. Oh, you're going to go 7 innings, strike out 12, and give up 2 hits? Well, I'm going to come back and go 8 innings, strike out 13, and give up 1 hit. And how, like, 5 guys were just matching each other for the first 2 months until the Miz pulled away finally here.
Yes. England, Croatia under is very popular as well. And Nigel's got a great write-up on that match, too. And he knows, who knows England better than Nigel? Mm-hmm. So that's one of the early matches coming up tomorrow as well. He's got some great breakdown with that match on VSiN.com. Strong case for the under. Also, you can bet to win to 0.
Well, with the difference here between these 2 clubs coming up with Iraq and Norway, again, Norway scored 37 goals in only 8 matches, allowing 5 during qualification. Mm-hmm. And one of their players, Julian Ryerson, had 18 assists across all competitions this year. He's plus 250 to have an assist tonight. Like that, I mean, man, the anytime goal scorers here, maybe the team total. Is Iraq going to really like limit Norway to, like, are they going to shut them out or limit them to 1 goal? That feels highly unlikely here.
Yeah.
Now, what we just watched with France and Senegal, and then yesterday piggybacking Spain getting shut out and, drawing to 0, nothing was going on in this France game until like the 60th minute, late in the second half. And then we had 4 goals the rest of the way.
These are juicy numbers, BTTS. Argentina, Algeria, plus 145. Jordan, Austria, plus 110. Norway, Iraq, plus 155.
Plus 155.
Yeah. Goal in the first 10 is 4-1 for Norway. The Argentina match is plus 440. The Jordan match is plus 415. If you think there'll be a banger right off the bat.
Okay.
Sports calendar never... what was it? U.S. Open? Thank you. Splash Sports High Stakes U.S. Open Challenge is live. $500 to enter for a shot at $100,000 guaranteed. Pick 6 golfers, 1 from each of 6 tiers. Your top 5 scores count. Worst golfer gets dropped. Lowest score wins. Multiple entries allowed. Build a few different lineups and increase your shot at the $100,000 prize. New players using promo code VSiN get a 50% deposit match up to $100 and a free Quick Picks entry up to $20. 100% Quick Picks payout boost on an entry up to $20. Splashsports.com. Code VSiN. Got to be 21. Must be present in select states. See the site for full rules and details. Get up there now. $500 to enter and can win 6 figures. Splashsports.com. Code VSiN. Thank you.
This is so great. 4 matches every single day here to begin the Cup. This is going to continue again. It's going to be 10 consecutive days. So many, the betting menus, every single match, endless. You can spend 2 hours looking at all these markets that they're going to offer. And the meat man, Steve Wyss, is going to join the program coming up next. We'll get his opinions on tonight's card, what he likes tomorrow, player props, some outrights, all coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Best bets on the way tonight and tomorrow in the World Cup. We go out to the Progressive Guest Line. Friend of the show, Steve Wyss, joins the program now. Follow him on X at MeatmanSoccer, Because We Win podcast, and the Betting Weekly Studios. Hey, Meatman, how you enjoying the World Cup?
Do you know what? It's been a fun time, guys. I think there's been some great games. Kylian Mbappe's just lit it up there with 2 goals for France. Just scored, for me, the best goal of the tournament. And I think sometimes any World Cup needs a goal like that to get really people get even more eyes on the tournament.
Incredible goal. No doubt about that. And that game exploded late in the second half. We do have a match coming up in 30 minutes. We were just talking about this. Betting angles with Norway and Iraq. It feels to me like Norway's going to score like multiple times in this match. Are they not?
I think they hammer them, to be honest. This could be a hammer job. If they click and score if they really finish their chances, they could go big. But it's more likely to be somewhere in between where they win by, say, 2-goal margin, 3-goal margin. The problem that Norway have is the defence is by far the weakest part of the team. The goalkeeper, I don't rate any of their keepers. They've got a couple of decent defenders, but their offence is absolutely loaded. And I mean, I've got a bet for this game. It's in the player props market. I really like Julian Ryerson to assist at any time in the game, plus 250.
There we go.
Officially a right back, but he's going to be playing so far high up the field today. He's going to be playing right wing. He's going to be on half the set pieces as well, corners and free kicks. And that's big here because there's a huge height difference between the teams. Norway rank in the top 5 for the tallest teams in the competition. Jordan are in around the bottom 5. Sorry, not Jordan, Iraq are in around the bottom 5 for certain positions. And, big guys like Haaland, you've got Sherlock, Christopher Ayers, a massive central defender for Norway. They're going to be a huge threat from set pieces. So I think Ryerson's got a great chance of assisting here. I know some people have backed him to be the top assister in the tournament at 50-1. I don't think Norway make it far enough for that. But he is a really, really quality player who's going to put loads of crosses in. And the big man up top, Haaland, he's going to want to get on the end of him, isn't he?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So that's coming up in half an hour. That's followed by Argentina and Algeria from Kansas City. You went 2-0 last week with these. How about a shots on target prop?
Well, I think Algeria are a little bit underrated in this match. It wouldn't surprise me if they got a point. I think the tie is possible here. We could get a draw. Yeah, I just think Argentina are a little bit overrated to a degree here. If they win, I think it's only by 1 goal. And I think the biggest threat for Algeria is Amin Gouiri. He's going to start as the striker for them in this game. Now, to get a starting striker plus money for a shot on target, I think that's worth a bet here. I mean, any starting striker should be, in my opinion, always at least getting 1 shot on target in any match. Okay, there is maybe a quality differential between the two teams here. But Algeria are one of the top 3 sides in Africa. They will get their chances on the break. He doesn't have to score for you here. We just need 1 shot on target or more from Amin Gouiri. And I think he can cause problems. They are going to have pace in the wide areas to get in behind. And I think he's the most likely scorer, actually, along with Riyad Mahrez, who's going to be on their free kicks and penalties. I guess Argentina, this is not a guaranteed lock that they win the game. If they win it, I think it's 2-1 or 1-0. And I wouldn't be going near the handicap minus 1.5. I think it's more likely that Algeria would cover the plus 1.5 handicap. I know a lot of sharps have been betting the under for this match. And I think that's based on that Algeria are expected to line up with 5 defenders. But they will have that counter-attacking threat, and Gouiri is going to be the biggest threat to them going forward.
All right, excellent. The late match, Austria, Jordan, midnight Eastern, Santa Clara. How about another player prop? Take it away.
Well, this could be a match where Austria comfortably win. To be honest with Jordan, they're a bit of an uncertainty for a lot of bettors at this competition. I've got to say, even I haven't watched much of them. So they could be anything on the day. They could be surprisingly good, or they could be downright awful. And if they are awful, then Austria could feast. And this is another one, similar to the Norway match. Set pieces are going to be crucial. And there is a huge height differential here. Jordan are one of the bottom 5 teams in height in the competition. And Austria have got some big lads. Watch out for Michael Gregovic up front. And he is a 6'6" striker. He's going to be a massive problem. So I'm going with the assist provider, Marcel Sabitzer, to score or assist. He's plus money, plus 115 for Austria. He's going to be on all their set plays. He might be on a penalty. So I think there's a good chance he can assist a goal, but he's also a threat himself to score. So let's get the dual bet there with either option for him to score or assist. You're going to win your bet. Austria should win the game. They're sometimes not the most reliable team. And there is question marks about Jordan. Could they be surprisingly good on the counter-attack? But I think we're looking at about a 3-1 or 3-0 sort of game to Austria. Sabitzer's going to get enough opportunities to score or assist.
Okay, let's go to Wednesday. This is going to be, on paper, a really good match the way it appears. You want to attack it with the total. It's England and Croatia. What do you make of it?
Under. It's got to be an under 2.5 goals for me here, minus 143. England didn't concede a goal in qualifying. We know they are notoriously slow starters to most competitions, and just keep it really tight defensively. They are hard to break down. And I think Croatia, I mean, there's a good chance of a tie here, but probably 1-0 England is the most likely score. They've got that extra bit of quality and class. And this is not the Croatia team that finished runners-up in the World Cup 2018. They don't have as much of their golden generation. They've got a few younger players coming who are decent, but a lot of the older players now are either gone or just kind of past their peak. So England should find a way to break them down. But I expect both teams to feel each other out in the first half, probably 0-0 at half time. And then England, maybe one player with a bit of quality and class can get that goal for them, or maybe a penalty or something for England. Harry Kane's really good at putting those away. So, but under 2.5 goals really makes a lot of sense. England didn't concede a goal in qualifying. And that is the big, big strength since Thomas Tuchel's come in as their manager. They've looked watertight at the back, certainly against any sort of mediocre teams. Croatia are mediocre, really. So it makes sense for the under. I don't see England scoring 3 goals in this one. So 1-0, 2-0 England.
Okay, how about another under? We start the day tomorrow with Portugal and Congo from Houston. 2.75 under.
Congo are just going to come here and park a double-decker bus and more. They're going to be so defensive that it's about Portugal, can you break us down? And eventually they will. But I think we're looking at 1-0, 2-0 Portugal, just like the England game. What I have noticed is these midday local time kickoffs, they have been surprised. The dogs have done well in them. I mean, look at Spain yesterday with that 0-0 against Cape Verde. Switzerland couldn't beat Qatar in the early kickoff either. So I think about circadian rhythms of players. Soccer players are not used to being on the field this early in the day. A lot of their matches, especially in the big leagues in Europe, play in the evening. So it's just something for their body clock to get used to. And I think Portugal could be a bit slow and sluggish out of the gate. I don't see them conceding a goal. So Congo, I don't think will score, but they are quite tough defensively, Congo. I've seen quite a lot of them in recent times. There's a mad stat, something like this under this manager, like 85% of their matches have gone under 2.5 goals in like 40 games. Yeah, it's a ridiculous statistic. So they are an under king. And, if they only lost 1 or 2-0 to Portugal, that's not terrible for their goal difference. So I think under 2.75 actually you can get here at minus 117. So if there's 3 goals, you only lose half. But I wouldn't put off anyone looking at under 2.5 goals. It's significant plus money. It's going to be, I think, a tight one to start the day.
Sold. Excellent. Meatman, our guest, 3-1 last week. Because we win pod, he's on the Progressive Guest Line. Pauly and Mitch, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific from Toronto tomorrow. Panama and Ghana.
I'm going after Ghana. I mean, I was on last week and I've backed Ghana to be bottom of this group. I actually had a small bet on Ghana to be the lowest scoring team in the whole competition at 33-1. I don't think they score a goal in this World Cup because they are so defensively minded. And their manager, Carlos Queiroz, is so defensive. Now, you could say maybe this is the one game they could open up in, perhaps, because they feel like they might want to win it. But this coach has only got one way of operating. I don't think he's got a plan B. And I think Panama here, draw no bet, plus 130. I mean, I'm going after these Canal boys. I'm going after them. I think they're a great bet here. They are used to playing in America. They are used to playing in America in these Gold Cup competitions. It's a part of the world they're very familiar with. And I think they're underrated. I actually think they've got a far bigger goal threat than Ghana under the tactical systems that 2 teams normally play. So, look, it could be a draw. It could be a 0-0, actually. But I think if someone's going to win it, Panama get the edge from me. I'm going after Ghana this whole competition, guys. If they break me, then fair enough to them. But I've got to put my money where my mouth is here. And it's Panama tie-no bet, plus 130.
Very good. Make sure you follow Steve on X. He's at B-Man Soccer, the Because We Win podcast, Betting Weekly Studios. I've been listening to you this week. Guys are doing a great job, covering every single angle with these matches, Steve. So, job well done, and thank you for the time today. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you again very soon. A couple of days, I think.
Yep.
Love it.
Sounds good. There you go. Steve Wyss, and he was on the Progressive Guest Line. Going to be a hammer job. That's the Norway match coming up. You want to bet goal in the first 10?
Yes, I do.
Let's do that.
Fireworks off the bat.
Yes.
A 5-1 shot to cash? Yeah, let's do that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in. Okay. We'll make that bet. That match starts in 20.
4-1. Sorry, 4-1. Argentina's 450.
You're going to hear about how popular the World Cup is when it comes to betting on these matches. Coming up next on Follow the Money, it's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, so the match is coming up between Norway and Iraq coming up in 15 minutes. Yeah, man, these menus are so big. Right here at Circa, you said 4-1 down to plus 335. Goal in the first 10.
Howland up to 220 to score.
Oh, man.
What a monster. Minus 220 to score anytime. Incredible.
At BetMGM, they have over 1.5 corners and 1 goal in the first 15 minutes. They also offer that in the first 10 minutes as well at various juice. They're offering total goals between the 0 and 15 minute mark between both these teams. Over half a goal is plus 185. Over 1.5 is 14-1. You can bet Norway to score in the first 15 minutes plus 230. What do you think of that one, Hot Shot?
Like that?
You like that one?
Exact score. Iraq's bad. If I can get a 1-0, a 2-0. 1-0, 725, 2-0 plus 525.
Okay. So there you go. We have some official bets on this game. The match is going to start, and it'll be decided by 6:15 Eastern time. I did bet goal. These are small bets, but goal in the first 10 at Circa plus 335. And I did bet Norway to score in the first 15 minutes plus 230. And over 1.5 corners and a half a goal in the first 15 minutes is plus 375. Let's ride.
God, minus 2's nuts, though, isn't it?
And that's what Nigel likes it.
After you watch Spain as well. Oh, man. That's a lot. You got to win by 3 goals to cash your ticket. Rather go with the 1.5.
Well, look at how France, how they just exploded in the second half, though.
Yeah. They're also ranked number 2, though. I mean, these guys, they're ranked 31st, even though they have Howland. The strong case, though, another great appearance by Meatman. Strong case for England under against Croatia and also the Panama-Ghana.
Yeah.
Very good breakdown. Both, I think, good bets to go with under in those 2 matches. And it's a 9-1 run under 10, 2.5 for England.
Yep. Longtime bookmaker, Johnny Avello here in Las Vegas. He's at DraftKings now, has been for several years. He was on VSiN Primetime this week with Matt Humans and Tim Murray, and he talked about how much money is bet on this event worldwide.
I do, because my thought process was coming into this World Cup is that this is going to be certainly the biggest World Cup for us ever, and this thing could rival any sporting event that we've done so far because there's going to be so many games each day, and these games are heavily bet, and this will go on to be bigger than a March Madness tournament. So to me, for us, it's going to be a big handle tournament, and why not for everybody else around the world?
It'll be billions, no question about that. It'll blow away It'll blow away combined Super Bowls.
Well, it's a bookmaker's dream because you should take whatever the customer wants because of the 3-way, and you get carried out again. I mean, because when you see most of these bets, it's all to win or not to win what they're betting, and then the draw thing just takes you out. Like Jeff Sherman said yesterday, that the people rarely bet it, and going into this first match today with France and Senegal, half the matches has resulted in a draw.
Yeah, I know Spanky, who's in charge of Bet Bash, coming out here to Circa again later on in the summertime. He was tweeting this out. I think it was leading up to the World Cup. So it was, I don't even think day one, but Pinnacle was taking 500,000 aside on these. I mean, per click, boom. You want $500,000? We'll take it, no problem. And it said right there that that's one of those things again that I think every sports book should offer, is that what the limit's going to be. And he sent out a screen grab of like, you type in 500,000 and it will take your bet. You're not exceeding the limit there.
There was a great story. I think it was it 8 years ago or 12 years ago? There was these Chinese guys, and they were they're poker players, and they were running their own book out of the Rio, and they were taking $2-3 million a match. And they came in, and Phil Ivey had to bail one of them out. But they were doing that incredible story. It was wild to what they were taking. It shows you the handle. These guys are taking $2-3 million a pop.
What are they?
What they were doing?
Tent in the parking lot.
They were plugged in with their penthouse suite that they had, and they had all these monitors up and everything running in there. What they were doing, and Ivy saved the day and got him out of there.
So they set up basically a bookie shop.
Yeah, I got to find the
inside
story.
a casino here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, they're all in the penthouse suites or whatever.
That's pretty amazing.
I got to find that article. I think it was 12 years. It was bananas.
So that was it. You go back, and they were taking $2-3 million a match.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
How about that sweat?
Right? Oh, wow. Well, it's like now with prediction markets again, how much you want to get down?
Yeah, that's astonishing, right? When you see these guys, give me whoever, 1.1 million, no problem.
Right. I want to put a contract in. I want $1 million or more at this number. Can I get it? You put it out there, build a contract. Is anybody going to be around? Let's dance. And the one person did put $1 million on Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Lost. That was to win 85,000. Another person on Polymarket put 400,000 not to win. That paid 4.7 million. I believe was the overall cash on that one. Well, let me throw this at you because the number on Miami keeps going up on Polymarket for Giannis to go to the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Did you see this trade idea from Yahoo Sports? This was yesterday. The Celtics would get Giannis. Miami would get Jaylen Brown. Milwaukee would get Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez. They would get Ware. They would get Hugo Gonzalez. They would get another player. They would get a 2026 first-round pick from Boston and a 2026 first-round pick from Miami. They would then get unprotected picks from Miami. That one would be in 2030 in the first round and an unprotected from Boston in 2031. That just seems like that's automatic.
There's a lot there.
That's automatic for Boston, or I'm sorry, for Milwaukee to do.
Yeah.
But that's their idea. That's not, if that's actually kicked around and the Bucks would say no to that, then they just, fold the franchise.
Yeah. I mean, I got to think it's going to happen here in the next couple of days. They have to move because that's so important to get a lottery pick in this draft.
1 week from tonight.
But it's just, how long can you play this game? What if Riley says, I'm sick and tired of you? That's it. And he pulls it. Then they're really in trouble. They got to be careful. They're playing a dangerous game right now.
Well, it depends on how accurate some of these reports are as well. Like what the overall, the package would be for Miami.
Well, I believe the package has been out there forever. It looks like they made it stronger since the trade deadline.
Right.
But they wanted them in the worst way at the deadline. Milwaukee said, okay, thanks, but we'll wait. And then now with a week out from the draft, that they're saying, okay, we know you have the offer, but we don't think it's that strong. If Riley says, I'm sick of you guys, he can do that too. I wouldn't be surprised.
Imagine if the Bucks find no takers for Giannis.
Or they don't get a strong offer. That's the other thing. Yeah. If something would happen.
That would be, if
you got to run it back? Especially because he says he wants out. And then the owner came out and said, I want this done.
They're up, by the way, the Bucks are up to 10% to keep him.
Where was it?
Not even close to that yesterday.
Wow. Oh boy. That's a fiasco.
And then that rumor that came out, or the report that came out earlier during our show, is that the Bucks are also trying to offload Kuzma and Bobby Portis in the same package.
Yeah, well, I don't blame them.
No.
I mean, again, that's a horrendous contract, 4 for 90 with Kuzma.
It was
awful.
They're going down the same path as the Dallas Mavericks here with how bad they've butchered this thing. Honestly.
Perhaps. That could be. Yes.
At his peak, you could have gotten whatever you wanted for Giannis. And we are far from that now with Milwaukee, the way it seems. Could be wrong. Maybe they get an unbelievable deal. And, it's all speculation at this point. And maybe there's another team. Other people have said there's got to be a mystery team here that could land Giannis. And I would not rule that out. I'd like to see Portland get back into this thing.
I think no way. I would love to see it, but he won't sign the extension, I guess. It goes back to what Phoenix did with Kevin Durant, though. How much are you going to help out the player? If he says it's either Miami or Boston and that's it, do they do good by him and say, listen, you've been one of the best players ever. You won us a championship. Thank you for everything. We'll help you out.
Well, they don't have to do that at all, but I understand.
That's what I would do. But that's what Phoenix said. They had no business doing that. They really bent over backwards for Durant. I mean, he was only there a couple of years, and they did him a solid. And they didn't get much in return, giving him up to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
But if the star player says, I want out, and I only want to go to certain destinations, do you say go pound Sandro. Okay, we'll help you out. It appears it's going to be Miami or Boston, and grant his wish.
I wonder what they could get from Minnesota, even if Jay McDaniels is not included in the package.
I would love that too.
They have a lot of parts there that Minnesota could work with.
Yes,
and some picks coming up as well. Mm-hmm. Like that would be a pretty good destination. Would they get? They'd probably watch this. How badly they would get DiVincenzo back in the trade. The team that originally drafted and gave up on him after 1 year. Mm-hmm. Another look at the U.S. Open betting menu coming up. John Hasselbauer is going to join the program. We'll get his best bets on the event. Should be a doozy at Shinnecock coming up starting on Thursday. This is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.